Years of stress left me with anxiety. 何々のせいでほにゃららになった。Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
I study English less because of exams and more because...
So we have our thesis that ends with our thesis again.
Let's move on to part 3.
I think a good teacher is someone who can...
College, university. You have a lot of vocabulary. Stealing your vocabulary. Good afternoon.
Hello.
My name is Miyu. May I have your full name, please?
Yes, my full name is Marcus Ryan Hance.
Okay. And what should I call you?
Ryan, please.
All right. So could I see your identification card, please?
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
Thank you so much. All right. So this is going to be part 1 question. Are you ready?
I am.
Okay. When you were younger, did you enjoy your time at school?
At school, I enjoyed parts of it. I enjoyed seeing my friends and learning things generally. I didn't particularly enjoy homework, so I tended not to do that very often. But yeah, in general, I think I enjoyed school.
Were you studying English at a school?
Studying English. We had English classes. Didn't pay that much attention as I kind of speak it natively. But yeah, learning how to write more effectively and learning about classic literature and things like that. Yeah.
Would you say you were a good student?
A good student? No, not at all. I think I was too smart for my own good, if that makes sense. I understood things very quickly, so I didn't do my homework very often because I felt I didn't need to, and I didn't push myself very often. And so when I got older, that has left me with some bad habits.
What's more important when studying, the student or teacher?
The student or the teacher? I think both have a large effect on the process, but I think ultimately it comes down to the student's ability to study and their focus and drive to how much success they will have.
What do you do when you have difficulty with your studies?
With my studies, that's difficult to say. I tend to stop doing things when they become overly difficult. That's a bad habit that I have. But generally, I think how could I say this? Yeah, I think I generally don't do well if I run into too many difficulties.
All right, topic 2. Is distance learning common in your country?
Distance learning. Could you define distance learning?
Distance learning, like remote learning.
Remote learning. Okay,
Yes.
so learning online.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say it's relatively common. For example, in high school, I learned Japanese as a second language, but it was not offered physically at my school, so I took it online through the state school system. But yeah, I think online tutoring and things like that especially is relatively common.
Given a chance, would you like to study online?
Study online. I think there are benefits to studying online, but I think personally I do better in person.
Okay, very good. So we're going to move on to part 2. So you have the card here. You
Yes.
can flip it over. So this is the topic. You
Okay.
have 1 minute to prepare.
1 minute.
Okay,
All right.
please begin. All right, can you start speaking now, please?
Yes. So a time I really enjoyed in my educational career was my junior year of college. I left my home university in South Carolina, Clemson University, and I studied abroad at Fukui University, or the University of Fukui. I always forget which exactly it was. But I did my study abroad as part of my major, which was Japanese and international business. And we were required to study for at least 1 semester in the country associated with our language. And I did 2 full semesters in Fukui. And I really enjoyed that time because I was studying Japanese and I was, able to make some improvements there. Not quite as much as I had initially hoped, but at the same time, I was able to meet a lot of friends in the international dorm, friends from all over Italy, Thailand, Vietnam, Lithuania. So I had a lot of good times with friends that I made. I was able to make some Japanese friends as well. I played in a band with a group of Japanese students, and that was a very fun experience. And that less so because of the education, but more so because of the environment that I was in. It was a very, very enjoyable time in my educational career.
All right, time's up. Okay, let's move on to part 3.
Okay.
What qualities do you think a good teacher has?
A good teacher, let's see. I think a good teacher is someone who can take difficult concepts and is able to explain them in a way that is easy for their student to understand. So that can be in a language context, if you have very difficult linguistic concepts, but are able to explain them in simple enough language, or in some cases in a foreign language, if your student is learning the target language, then you're taking these concepts and explaining them succinctly is a very, very good quality, I feel.
What are the advantages of studying on a remote learning course?
Studying in a remote learning course. Well, first off, because you don't have to physically show up at any specific venue, you can do it from wherever you happen to be at that time. So it's very convenient. I think for a lot of people that would be at their home, but maybe if you are traveling and you are, on a, maybe say a business trip, and you are far away from where your teacher is, you can still take your lesson and not have to interrupt your schedule. I think there are, some disadvantages as well, but I think the convenience is probably the biggest benefit.
Do all children get equal opportunities in education?
No, all children do not get equal educational opportunities, unfortunately. I think there is a lot of it has to do with economic class. There are children who have a lot of resources at their disposal. They are able to attend higher quality institutions. They are able to afford private tutors if they struggle in a particular subject. They generally have more time and resources that are available to them, whereas children who come from maybe a lower economic background could not afford these opportunities, whether that's monetarily or just time. Maybe if you're having to work while you're in school as well, that can take away a lot of the opportunities that you otherwise may have had if you had that time free to focus on education.
Should all students pay for their university education?
Pay for their university education. I think resources-wise, there is always going to be some cost associated with education. But I think that it should be affordable, whatever that means to the individual. If someone comes from, as I mentioned before, a lower economic background, then that should not preclude them from an education. So whether that's through government assistance or by things like grants or scholarships, or just simply making education cheaper, because there's a lot of issues with, particularly as an American in America, issues with inflated prices. But generally, I think everyone should be able to have access to education.
What advantages do universities bring to society?
Universities bring a lot of advantages. I think they are a place where people can focus on academic pursuits. So a lot of times, if we don't have places like this, it would be up to a person to find areas where they can focus more on studies, and that might be difficult to find. Again, going back to resources, if they have to work a job, if they have, they don't live in a place where places like this would be available. A university gives them a place where all of this potential knowledge is concentrated. So they have a library where they could pull books from, or classes that they can go to specifically for what they want to learn. So I think universities are very beneficial.
All right. So that's the end of the speaking test. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
You've used a wide variety of vocabulary, which some of them I didn't understand. Like some certain words, like verbs. Preclude.
What's the definition of that?
To prevent something.
To prevent. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Prevent. Yeah. Preclude A from doing. Prevent something from doing.
Yeah.
Exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, well done.
Thank you. I hope I didn't ramble too much. I felt like I might have lost my train of thought at some points.
Yeah, like normally when we talk, we use like and and all that, but you didn't really use that as much.
I was really having to stop myself to say and like, and I felt a couple places where it slipped through. I was trying to hold it back, but it kind of came out. But I feel like I was pretty able to prevent that.
That's awesome. This is a practice book. So like it's mainly about learning or education and all that. But like the actual IELTS speaking test, I think we have more different topics in one test.
Wider variety of topics.
Yes, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was different from the test that we have done, where I have put together the test.
Yeah, this is an education topic focused questions.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all related to education. This was not the normal test questions. But I think this book helps a lot to focus on one topic, one specific topic.
Yeah. Because from what I understand, there are, at least in part one, there are 3 main topics that they choose one of every time. So if you're prepared for one of those, for all of those topics, then whatever one comes up, you will be more familiar and able to talk about that.
Yeah.
And then the other ones are, I guess, more varied. There are some more common and some less common, but a wide variety of topics.
Yeah. Can I see what you wrote on?
Yeah. Can you read my handwriting?
Junior year college Fukui, Japanese.
Yeah.
Lots of individual friends.
International friends.
Oh, international? And lots of international friends. Not too difficult.
Not too difficult. I didn't even mention not too difficult.
Yeah, mention that more like Japanese.
That's what I was studying at Fukui mainly, but it wasn't that difficult. I didn't have like a crazy hard course load, so I was mostly just kind of hanging out with friends, playing music, and
so like the time you studied at the University of Fukui was the best time.
Yeah, I think so.
I'm glad to hear that.
Yeah, because it was so different from anything that I had previously done. My entire life was spent in America and the American school system, and being able to break away from that and experience something new was a really good experience. Yeah.
If you were to improve even further, what kind of strategies do you have to tackle this type of test?
This type of test, I think I would kind of look into the topics that might be brought up.
Maybe these ones?
Yeah. Let's see, what do we have? So, food and cooking, traffic and transportation, tourism, travel, computers and internet, animals and pets, language, work and physical.
The day you asked about art, I stumbled a lot because I don't really know what kind of art should I talk about.
Yeah, exactly. So I would look through here and I would go, okay, food and cooking, I have some experience with that, so I'm good. Traffic and transportation, that's kind of everyday thing. I would look at the things that I'm more familiar with and kind of be relatively confident in my own knowledge. Wildlife? Yeah. Something that like maybe I don't have as much knowledge in. I would just kind of generally do just a little bit of research on that field just to get at least have something I could talk about for a couple sentences about various topics.
Yeah. Even like the topic that you just talked about, education, like I realized that I didn't know that much of vocabulary related to education, like scholarship and
grants.
Grants ってなんだっけ?
Grant is money you get from the government to study a specific topic.
Right. I only knew scholarship, like the money that we can borrow.
Yeah.
So like grants と scholarship, like の違いとか.
Yeah, true.
College, university, high school, junior high, elementary school, primary school. Like, we have a lot of vocabulary about like mentioning school, right?
Yeah, that's true. Different levels of school. Kindergarten, so you have like pre-kindergarten, pre-K, we call it, is like
pre-kindergarten.
保育園, I guess, like babies basically. And then like kindergarten, first grade, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. But in high school, we have names. So 9th is freshman.
Freshman, yeah.
10th is sophomore. 11 is junior in high school.
Freshman, sophomore,
junior,
senior.
Senior, yeah.
Junior, senior.
Because we have 4 years of high school, right? And then it's the same in college. We have 4 years of university, and we have freshman, sophomore, junior, senior.
Yeah.
Super senior is a 5th year.
Senior?
A super senior, a 5th year student.
Oh, okay.
A fifth or above, anything more than 4.
Right. And when it comes to age, we have the vocabulary infant とか infant, baby,
kid,
child,
adolescent.
Adolescence, yes, adolescence. That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah. Preteen, teenager.
Like there are so many words to just say a certain age of people.
There's a lot of like
younger people, older people, elderly people, generation Z. But to be able to answer those questions, I think at least we need to know those vocabulary because that's what they're scoring, that they're evaluating. Yeah. Instead of just saying young people or like baby or students. Yeah. If we use those words like more teenagers, like adolescents, or that would elevate your score on this IELTS test. I think these vocabulary are not on the tangocho in Japan.
Definitely not. Yeah.
I don't know why.
Well, and I think for most people, most situations, they're just too specific. You wouldn't need to be that specific in most situations. You wouldn't need to specify like infant or adolescent. Adolescent. Nobody uses like adolescent
I do know
in everyday
that
conversation.
Word, adolescent.
Yeah. For the IELTS test specifically, I think they want you to use a lot of these kind of very specific terms that are not necessarily useful in everyday conversation.
Do you want to check your answer?
Check my answer?
Yeah.
Oh.
What kind of answer you gave?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, should we do that?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right. So from now on, based on his answer, we're going to learn useful phrases or technical ways of phrases that we can steal from your answer.
Yeah.
When you were younger, did you enjoy your time at school?
At school? I enjoyed...
At school.
At school.
なるほど、なるほど。
I enjoyed parts of it.
I enjoyed parts of it.
Parts of it. Yeah, not the whole thing, but certain aspects.
Parts of it.
Parts of my time at school.
Of it.
But yeah, learning how to write more effectively and learning about classic literature and things like that. Yeah.
Classic literature.
Classic literature, things like, Shakespeare or classic novels like Catcher in the Rye and stuff like that. You learn in American schools.
I see.
Like you would probably read like Genji Monogatari or something.
Oh yeah, like
in
Kokugo.
Japan. Yeah, stuff like that.
Would you say you were a good student?
A good student? No, not at all. I think I was too smart for my own good, if that makes sense.
For my own good?
For my own good. It's saying like to something for your own good. It's saying like you have what would be a good quality, but because of the circumstances, it becomes a negative. So like usually being smart would be good, right?
Yeah.
But because it made me not try as hard. It kind of made me lazy later in life because I never had to build that stick-to-itiveness and work ethic. Normally being smart is a good thing, but it made me miss out.
I was too smart for my own good, meaning 賢すぎて逆に損してる.
So at that point, right, I didn't know how to study in university because I never had to because I was so smart in high school. And so when I got to university, it was a bad thing for me because I never developed that ability to study well.
That's a good phrase, I guess. Okay.
I understood things very quickly, so I didn't do my homework very often because I felt I didn't need to, and I didn't push myself very often.
Yeah, push myself っていうのは日本語では頑張る。
頑張る。
あんま頑張らなかった。I didn't push myself.
Yeah.
Hard enough とかね。
And I didn't push myself very often. And so when I got older, that has left me with some bad habits.
Left me with some bad habits.
Left me with some bad habits.
That had left me.
That has left me because I'm now in that state of having bad habits. Leave you with something. Yeah, so it's like it has now become that circumstance.
そのせいでちょっと悪い癖がついちゃってて。
そうだね。
Years of stress left me with anxiety.
Yeah, left me with...
何々のせいでほにゃららになったかな? Is it similar to I ended up doing something?
Yeah, it's similar. But in this case, it's like because of this circumstance, now I have ended up in this state.
That experience left me with trust issues.
Yeah. Left me with trust. Yeah.
ね、しづらくなった。Like a negative thing.
Yeah.
That experience left me with anxiety. That experience left me with trust issues.
Yeah. Usually it's like bad experiences leaving you with bad outcomes kind of thing. It's usually a negative connotation.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
Stealing your vocabulary. What's more important when studying, the student or teacher?
The student or the teacher? I think both have...
So here you said the student or the teacher, right? But in this book, it said the student or teacher without the.
Student or teacher? I feel like the student or the teacher is more natural.
Also,
I feel like this is not wrong necessarily, but it feels more natural to me to say the student or the teacher because we're kind of like defining both of these things.
Okay.
I think both have a large effect on the process.
Large effect on the process. Because you're not really saying anything, but you give an answer, right?
I'm kind of playing both sides a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like
during that time you think about your opinion.
Exactly. So I kind of give a blanket, a non-committal statement at first, right?
Yeah.
I'm not picking one side or the other yet.
Yeah.
I'm saying they both have good points, a lot of, big effect on the thing. And this gives me a little bit of time to think of which way I want to go.
That's how you think about your opinion. Because in my case, I go like, start to stutter and say the filler words.
Yeah.
But that's how you earn your time to think about it.
Student or the teacher? I think both have a large effect on the process.
On the process.
Effect on something.
The studying process.
On the studying process, exactly.
I see.
A large
Both
effect
have
on
a large effect. That's a really good way to earn some time to think about.
You kind of space out your words, drag it out, but you're still saying things, right? Yeah. Buy a little bit of time.
Yeah, you didn't make any silence.
Process. But I think ultimately it comes down to the student's ability.
Ultimately, it comes down to.
結局何々になる。But I think ultimately it comes down to the student's ability.
そう、これはなんていう感じなんだろうね。結局そういうことになる？結局のところ何々に行き着く。Essence?
Yeah.
結局ほにゃららなんだよね。
Yeah. Ultimately, as in like, in the end, the thing that it relies on is this. In the end, ultimately, right? 結局
何々次第だよね。でも、we do say a lot in Japanese. 結局何々次第だよね。結局努力次第だよね。
そう。
Ultimately, it all comes down to your effort, how much effort you make.
Exactly. Yeah. That kind of thing.
結局丸々次第。めっちゃいいフレーズじゃん。I think this is the best study material. What do you do when you have difficulty with your studies?
With my studies, that's difficult to say. I was floundering with this one. I really didn't know how to answer this question. So I felt like I started to repeat myself and I was leaving long gaps. This is the most
difficult
I
question.
Felt that I had difficulty answering. And while I was stalling, I lost my train of thought, so I completely forgot about what I wanted to say in the first place. So I had to try and come up with it again. So that one was difficult.
Let's see how you overcome this situation.
That's difficult to say. I'm stalling, I'm buying time. I tend to stop doing things when they become overly difficult. That's a bad habit that I have. But generally, I think there's a lot of silence. How did I say this? Yeah, I think
It's pretty normal.
Generally don't do well if I run into too many difficulties.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So I ended up just kind of restating what I had already said. I couldn't really come up with a good answer for this one.
The question was like, what do you do when you have difficulty when you study? But you gave your answer because you don't, at the end of the day, you don't do anything. So that's what you do when you have difficulty.
Yeah, I kind of just shut down and like stopped studying. So.
Yeah, that's kind of a difficult question.
Yeah.
What do I do when I have difficulty with my studies? Then,
maybe say like, oh, I get up and take a walk and reset my mindset, something like that. You can come up with some
works. I would, when I study, most of the time I have a goal. Like I have to take IELTS. So I had to go to a different country. So that's why I'm studying right now. So like basically I have schedule. But if I think it's too hard, set the new goal.
Yeah, maybe restructure your goal. So maybe like, I still want to take the IELTS, but I won't take this one. I'll take this next one and that'll give me more time to do this and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, that's what I do. Or like adjust my expectation.
That's a much better answer than mine.
No. Is distance learning common in your country?
Distance learning. Could you define distance learning?
Could you define? Yeah, I
think that's
that was
a
fast.
good way.
Yeah, but if it's like after you said and then could you define? Instead of like you think about it and then ask questions, maybe ask questions straight away.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't be afraid to not understand something. If you just really quickly just ask a very small clarifying question, I think that's better. That shows more fluency in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because you don't have that kind of hesitation. You could be thinking about what that word means, or you could be formulating an answer. It's kind of ambiguous as to your mindset, but if you just immediately ask for clarification, and then you have that information to go off of now. And so that keeps it moving. It keeps it speedier.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I don't think I would reduce the score from doing this.
Oh, thank you. Could you define distance learning?
Distance learning, like remote learning.
Remote learning. Okay, so learning online.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say it's relatively common. For example, in high school, I
would say it's relatively.
You're not speaking in absolutes, but from my experience, from what I know, I would say it's, you're kind of you're not giving such a definite answer. Because if you're wrong, then you're wrong. But if you're, it could be, you're not, you're never wrong if you're, if you're ambiguous enough. But it was not offered physically at my school, so I took it online through the state school system. But yeah, I think online tutoring and things like that especially is relatively common. Relatively common. This is a relatively common phrase.
Common.
These go together a lot.
Collocation.
Exactly.
I would say it's relatively common. Given a chance, would you like to study online?
Study online. I think there are benefits to studying online.
I think, but I think. So you're giving both points.
Yeah. It's like there are good points, but for me specifically, I think this way is better, kind of thing.
You said?
I think there are benefits to studying online, but I think personally I do better in person. Now, if I had used a word here like however, I think I do, you could, connect it this way. Maybe that's like a more suitable word for the IELTS. They want you to kind of use things.
Like discourse markers.
Yeah, these kind of more advanced connecting words than just but. I think, but is a little simple. If you use however, might be a little bit better.
So we're going to move on to part 2. So you have the card here.
Yes.
Flip it over. So this is the topic. You have 1 minute to prepare.
1 minute.
Okay.
All right.
Please begin. And you think about it.
Japanese and international business. And we were required to study for at least 1 semester in the country associated with our language. And I did 2 full semesters in Fukui.
Yeah, did 2 full semesters.
2 full semesters, as opposed to a semester and a half. I had to leave early, something like that. I stayed the entire time.
Yeah, knowing the vocabulary like semester, full semester.
Full semester.
Yeah, it's important. Because in Japanese we say 1学期, 2学期. 学期 is semester.
学期 semester. Yeah. As opposed to like a 2-week study abroad or a 1-month homestay, something like that. This is a full semester study abroad. And I really enjoyed that time because I was studying Japanese and I was, able to make some improvements there. Not quite as much as I had initially hoped.
これいいね。
Not quite as much as I had initially hoped.
Not quite as much as って、よく使ってそう。
Yeah. I think I used that quite a bit initially from the beginning.
That's a good vocabulary.
Yeah.
Initially, how
say like
originally, もともと?
That less so because of the education, but more so because of the environment that I was in.
いや、これってさ、less so because of sentence structure でしょ。less so because of A, more so because of B.
Because of B, yeah, exactly.
Let's ask ChatGPT. A という理由よりもむしろ B という理由でそうしている。I study English less because of exams and more because I genuinely enjoy it.
So yeah, less so because of, more so, or less because and more because. You can also say that way. I think less so sounds a bit more proper in my opinion, but either's okay.
So you gave the conclusion after this sentence.
Yeah. So yeah, it doesn't have to be always before, right? It's not like you can say, oh, I had a great experience, less so because of this, but more so because of this. But you can also flip it around. So you can start off with the reasons and then end off with the point that you're trying to make.
So less so because of money, more so because of enjoyment.
Yeah. I do my job every day, something like that. But in this case, specifically because we're already talking about my experience at school, it flows a little more naturally because we started off with the thesis, right? Like the time I most enjoyed at my school. And then we have the whole context going up. And at the end, we kind of wrap it up, right? Less so because of the studies, but more so because of the people and things like that, I was able to enjoy this time. So we have our thesis, our explanation, and this is kind of our wrap up that ends with our thesis again.
Right. Yeah, I think I can use this sentence structure.
Yeah.
Let's move on to part 3.
Okay.
What qualities do you think a good teacher has?
A good teacher.
I
think a good teacher is someone who can take. I think a good teacher is someone who can take difficult concepts.
Yes, like a good teacher is someone who. I think I hear this a lot.
A good whatever is someone who can blah, 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 blah. Yeah.
Good leader is someone who.
Exactly. Take difficult concepts and is able to explain them.
Take difficult concept and is able to 取って、able to explain it.
Able to explain it. Yeah.
そうやって言うのか。Like for me, I think I would say is someone who can explain the difficult concept in detail とかって言っちゃいそう。Or like break down difficult concepts into easier topics とか、easier explanation とか。
Easier to understand.
Easier to understand.
More understandable, maybe. Yeah.
でも you kind of like separated that sentence. First you said take the difficult concept and is able to explain. That's something that I don't really do when I speak English, and that's why it was interesting. I tend to put everything into one sentence. That's how we were taught in school.
Yeah.
right? I don't know how to make things easier for the audience to listen to. Because this way it's more, easy to understand. First off, you take the topic and then talk about it later in the different sentence. だから面白い。
Yeah. Is able to explain them in a way that is easy for their student to understand.
In a way that is もうめっちゃ聞く。In a way that is
Yeah.
でしょ
Yeah, that one's very often used.
In a way that is easy. これもよく使うよね。
In a language context, if you have very difficult linguistic concepts but are able to explain them in simple enough language, or in some cases in a foreign language, if your student is learning the target language, then you're taking these concepts and explaining them succinctly is...
What did you say?
Succinctly, short and to the point.
Concisely.
Concisely, succinctly, mean the same thing, yeah.
Concisely. Explain something succinctly. Wow, new word. What are the advantages of studying on a remote learning course?
Studying in a remote learning course. Well, first off, because you don't have to physically show up at any specific venue, you can do it from wherever you happen to be at that time. So it's very convenient. I think for a lot of people that would be at their home, but maybe if you are traveling and you are, on maybe say a business trip, and you are far away from where your teacher is, you can still take your lesson and not have to interrupt your schedule. I think there are, some disadvantages as well, but I think the convenience is probably the biggest benefit.
なるほどな。うまいですね。
So this part, I forgot how I started. I forgot if I started like specifically with just this, or this was kind of like, I noticed I said, first of all. So I was kind of setting it up as like this one and then another point, but then I forgot kind of where I was going with it, or I couldn't quite come up with a second point. So I just wrapped it up there. I was like, there are other benefits, but I won't get into that. I'll just stop it here. This is the best one,
I see.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that thinking process you had when you're speaking.
But I think that it should be affordable, whatever that means to the individual. If someone comes from, as I mentioned before, a lower economic background, then that should not preclude them from an education.
For you, was this question difficult?
Well, I think
it was this.
Coming up with a phrasing, coming up with like how to phrase the answer, and because this is kind of like, at least in America, it's kind of like a hot button topic,
really?
Like, whether universities should be free. Because like in Europe, a lot of universities are free or very, very cheap, right? But in America, for some reason, people like to pay more for things because freedom or whatever. But mostly just trying to come up with, like, logically formulate my answer in a way that is coherent,
Yeah. Even native speakers say like,
Yeah. Because like taking a complicated topic and distilling it down to one viewpoint is difficult, right? So it takes a little bit of time to formulate an answer, to kind of structure how you want to answer sometimes. Even for native speakers, right? We do this all the time.
Do all students pay for their university education?
Pay for their university education. I think resources-wise, there is always going to be some cost.
Resources-wise?
Resources-wise.
Something wise.
There is always going to be some cost associated with education, but...
Some cost associated with education.
Yeah.
Related to education?
Cost related to, associated with, connected with, something like this. Whether that's through government assistance or, by things like grants or scholarships, or just simply making education cheaper. Because there's a lot of issues with, particularly as an American in America, issues with inflated prices. But inflated prices. So it shouldn't be that expensive, but it is because they can make it that expensive, right?
Inflated.
Yeah. It's like, you want a college degree, we're giving the degrees, so you kind of where else are you going to go? We can charge whatever we want, kind of thing. Prices. But generally, I think everyone should be able to have access to education.
Affordable の言い換えで have access to education.
Have access
very, very
to.
smart.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like you can
Should be
go.
affordable.
Yeah.
Should have access to education. That's good. It's paraphrasing.
Yeah, have access to is a very common way to talk about things like affordability, right? You have the money to, or you have like a car, you have the ability to get there. You have access to some resource. You have the ability to access it.
So for you, affordable and have access to something is in the same box, the same category in your brain.
Yeah, so affordability is one way to have access to something.
So when you want to say something is cheap, you could say it's affordable, it's reasonable.
Accessible, you could say.
Accessible, less costly.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah. Less is a comparative, so you would have something else comparing it to. Like this is less costly than this other alternative, right?
Right. Not costly, cheap.
Yeah. It's not very costly, not costly, yeah.
I remember when I posted a reel in Australia at the bakery, I said, oh, it's very cheap to the staff at the counter. And I got the comment saying like, cheap is a rude way to say that about the product that they sell. Is that true?
It can be, yeah. So cheap can have, like there's two meanings. It can mean that it doesn't cost a lot of money, but it can also mean that the quality is not very high. So it's like yasui versus yasupoi.
I see.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
But like that bread was extremely cheap. So I was like, oh, that's cheap.
Yeah. And it depends on like the way you say it too, right? If you say like, wow, that's cheap, like obviously by your tone, you are indicating that you mean it good. But like if you say like your friend buys a new handbag and you look at it and you go, oh, that's cheap, you know? In that way, it's like, oh, yasupoi, right?
Yeah. What should I say in this situation?
Maybe you can say that's a good deal.
Oh, that's a good deal.
Right? Yeah, because it's like for what you're getting, the quality of bread you're getting, the price is relatively low. It's a good deal. Otoku, right?
But for me, that when I say that's a good deal, is like if the staff say like, oh, how about this bread? It's like if he explains the quality of the bread, then that's a good deal.
Yeah.
Like that makes sense to me. But if I find that the bread and then see the cost and it was very cheap, and if I say like that's a great deal. Like it's not a deal in my head.
Yeah,
Does
I guess
that make sense? Like it's not a deal in
what
my
a
head.
deal is, I guess, is relative. Yeah.
Sure.
And I mean, you can say cheap just fine. Like that makes sense. It's perfectly acceptable. But in certain context, if you're talking to the baker themselves, maybe cheap might be offensive because they put a lot of effort into it. To them, it's not cheap. It costs a lot of effort and my time to make this bread. It might kind of, cheapen their effort in their mind.
Any other ways to say it other than a good deal? It's a good deal.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good price.
Good price.
Good price. Yeah. Oh, that's cheap. Yeah, I think that's perfectly fine. I think most people would understand you mean it in a good way.
Yeah, because in Japanese, if you say, "Oh, めっちゃ安いね," like generally it has a positive meaning.
Yeah.
So like I was translating in Japanese to English, and I say, "Oh, that's super cheap." Yeah, and posted on Instagram Reels. And people say like cheap is very rude.
No, I think it's perfectly fine. And again, like by your tone, you clearly indicated that you meant it in a good way.
Yeah, there's no miscommunication between
and me. Yeah, so that's perfectly fine. Yeah.
Okay, but good price is much better way to phrase it.
If it's definitely like there's less chance of kind of giving a negative connotation for sure.
Yeah. What advantages do universities bring to society?
Universities bring a lot of advantages. I think they are a place where people can focus on academic pursuits. So a lot of times...
Academic pursuit. Academic goal.
Pursuits, yeah. The goal is like the end point.
Yeah.
The pursuit is the process. The pursuit of something, kind of the process of going after a specific goal.
Right. That's again, you're still thinking about your answer, but you say something along the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I need this ability.
Yeah, to kind of think like have a phrase ready to go so that you can think while it's coming out.
Because like for me at this level of my English, if I think about something, then I can't say anything.
Yeah.
So but you are doing the two things at the same time. You're right. Yeah, I need this skill.
People can focus on academic pursuits. So a lot of times if we don't have places like this, it would be up to a person to find areas where they can focus more on studies, and that might be difficult to find. Again, going back to resources, if they have to work a job, if they have, there's just they don't live in a place where places like this would be available. A university gives them a place where all of this potential knowledge is concentrated. So they have a library where they could pull books from, or classes that they can go to specifically for what they want to learn. So I think universities are very beneficial.
なるほどね。
That one was a little difficult too. I was trying to like piece together how exactly I wanted to kind of phrase my answer.
でもすごい native speakers. Of course you are, but like yeah, after I've taken like several IELTS speaking tests with you, I know how hard it is to put things together. So,
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
すごい.
But it's even like, it also just depends on the person. Because I mean, I'm not particularly eloquent, I don't think. In my ability to structure my thoughts is...
well, I don't think so though. Like whenever I ask questions about English and Japanese, your answer is often like, very logical, easy to understand.
Yeah.
And you don't really stutter a lot when you give me some explanations.
Subjects I know well and things I'm used to explaining, like English and things like this, I generally, because I've been through the process so many times, I kind of know where I'm going. But in cases like this, where I'm completely unprepared, right? I didn't know we were going to do this before today.
Yeah.
So like trying to structure my thoughts on the fly, I'm not quite as good at that as some other people might be, even as a native speaker. So if I was doing this in Japanese and having to try and structure my thoughts to complicated questions like this, I mean, it would be very difficult. I don't know that I could, do very well on a test like this in Japanese right now.
Yeah, it's hard. Especially about the topics that I don't really know, like foods, animals, or like arts or history. Yeah, music. For example, yeah, because I don't have a specific favorite type of music. I only know like pop music or like the music that people often listen to. So like I don't have much preference on it. But like when it comes to music, if you ask me like what type of music do you enjoy, I'm like I don't know. Even in Japanese, I'm like I don't know.
Yeah, at that point, like I think generally kind of looking over broad topics like this, and at least think of maybe one or two things you can talk about if it comes up.
At least we had to know the vocabulary that specify the type of this, topics. For example, when it comes to music, at least you should know like K-pop, J-pop, like classic music, rock music, like jazz, those type of vocabulary. Because the first time I took IELTS, I did not know any genre about those music or like foods. Or like money. The question I remember, like, how much money is enough for you? I was like, how much money? Should I say in yen or dollars? All that kind of stupid question came up in my head. It was like, I don't know, like, I couldn't specify the number of the amount of the money. So I said, like, maybe I could survive.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so in a situation like that, right? And maybe that question, it's even more natural to give a general answer. So not like a specific, like, oh, if I earn $100,000, that's enough, But it's like, oh, enough to pay my rent every month, enough to afford a vacation every year. Give like kind of general goals where some unspecified amount of money would meet, right? If you can find something like that for all is maybe a lot, but just like ones that you're not as familiar with, find kind of a general topic that you could point to in this broad category to give a short answer about.
Right.
It would be a good way to prepare, I think.
yeah, I'll do my best in Philippines. Yeah, because I have to take classes every single day.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Maybe teachers will ask questions like this. Yeah, I just wanted to prepare before I go. Well, thank you very much for the past several speaking lessons.
Yeah, of course. This was fun to be on the other side of it for once. It's more difficult than you think.
It's so hard, especially if it's an official test.
Yeah.
I get extremely nervous.
Yeah, being in that environment just really makes it even more difficult to recall words and
especially
phrases.
Examiners, they never respond, they never smile. So I get nervous, what did I think?
Yeah, not having any feedback is really, really difficult.
Yeah, it's like talking to a camera.
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you learned a lot from his answer, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.